So some of you were talking about your free open source Blender programs, and that is what my poster is on. Oh, I might not have renamed it in this file. Yeah, there we go. No, that's Eclipse. Okay. So what I did is I had 1 credit class to finish up my master's program. And so I took one of Michelle's programs, actually the one that she presented last year, her Voyage to Distant Worlds, and I created a teacher guide. And this goes right along with what Sarah talked about this morning and what Toshi talked about yesterday. What schools are looking for as far as additional resources to extend your planetarium program out into the real world. And so what did I do? First of all, I took her program, watched it, really liked it, and just like Toshi said yesterday about finding the standards. Schools want to know, how does it connect to their standards, what they're required to teach. And so I went through and I found with the solar system one that she did, so it was middle school level. So this was, I used the little star that could for my, I used the little star that could for my younger kids, but then my older kids, they still want to do something on the solar system. So Voyage to Distant Worlds fit perfectly. And how I connected it to, this is the 3rd grade Earth Science Standard of Analyzing, Interpreting Data, Determining Scale Properties of Objects in the Solar System. So we took that idea and I extended the show and added on activities. And these are activities that you probably already do. Someone had mentioned the pocket solar system. I included that as a lesson plan activity. Some of you have done solar system walks. So that was an alternative activity. My theme was I was trying to go into the inspire, educate, and community. So the first activity we did was doing classification. How do we group planets? Is Pluto a planet? Is Pluto not a planet? And then from classifying, and I included asteroids and some other minor bodies and stars in a classification scheme. Because there's lots of different ways. You can classify it by color, size, shape. So I had pulled out some and made some of my own, like flashcards, to go with the planets and some of these objects for classification. And teachers can expand on that. Then we did clay models of the solar system. I know that's I think we've done that activities before. We have, I don't remember how many pounds of clay. It depends on your size. And then you just chop them up into, cut it in half for Jupiter and cut that in half and half. Similar to your pocket solar system, but instead do size of planets all the way down to the Pluto size. And then, so I wanted to get like 2 activities for all of my Inspire, Educate, community. So the idea was, and I also included quizzes because teachers want assessments. We talked about assessments this morning. I completely can't even find my poster that I was going to share. It'll be attached. No, I wasn't sharing my screen. Actually, Michelle, I don't know what happened to the file I did share with you. So between last night and This morning I can't find files. Typical me. Here. I know where I can find it.
You just make us feel better because that's how we are too.
Oh, okay. Nope. So I was trying to. This is the good reason why, you always have 2 or 3 people helping you out. There it is. It was right in front of me. I just mislabeled it. So let me share this out with you guys, so you at least have a look-see to what the poster looks like. No, come on, share. There we go. So there's the abstract, basically extending your content into making an educator guide. And it sounds like a lot of you do that, especially if you do shows. So I always start off with some kind of background, especially when you're dealing with a lot of the elementary school levels. A lot of times their concentrate is not in science. So giving them that science background, having it kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of this. And then, as everybody I've stated before, connecting to the content standards. Even better, if you have somebody on your team that's not science, or a lot of you might have planetariums within schools, so go to your English teacher, go to your social studies teacher. The cross-cutting is kind of one of those key words they're using now in education. So how can we double dip as much as possible? So including a writing prompt with this, and looking at where it fits in the standards. This summer, I took a workshop on computers, the computer science standards for the state of Nebraska. It was amazing how they connected standards to anything and everything you do, even at the kindergarten level, about classifying and identifying, and it's all steps in the computer programming process. So Ron, you'd probably be great at adding those kind of things into a planetarium educator guide. So big thing that teachers need help with is actually curating that collection of awesomely cool astronomy activities. So that was a big part. Okay, what do I include? What do I not include? Having that key standard was a big part in deciding what I included in. But as I said, creating a clay model of solar system, pocket solar system. I included a solar system and quiz. So props to, of course, one woman show. I don't design many of my planetarium programs, so I'm always looking for free and others. Casper Planetarium has a lot of awesome ones. So our current favorite was Journey to Other Worlds. This is what I get for using a touchscreen too. Hey, I'm lucky. So conclusion, educator guides can vary greatly. So I did a lot of research and looking at other people's educator guides. Key features including background of show content. So a lot of the education activities that I look at to share with teachers, I get from the show's background. So they might not have an educator guide, or the guide may be above or below level. One of my favorite shows I liked was Seeing, and their educator guide was not what I thought the schools wanted or they didn't want. So I went in and created my own resource packets for that. And of course, giving credit where credit is due, I didn't come up with any of these activities myself. It's all just curating activities I've done before based on other people. So all that is included in my educator guide. And then future directions, of course, additional contents from the other science standards, and the guides for additional shows. So I thought, when I actually asked Michelle about these shows, I had anticipated it to be a larger one semester master thesis project presentation, and it ended up being I had 1 credit because our master's program, our final presentation was very structured and it didn't fit. So 15 hours. So I only ended up doing the one show, but I do have plans to do additional shows. Lots of things coming into the chat, but that's basically my poster presentation in a nutshell. The planetarium is located in music. Oh yeah, connect with the museum exhibit specialist. Great way to tie into the rest of your museum. For me, at being at a college university, it's they come in, they're here for an hour, but they always want to extend. What else can I do? What else can I see? So I've connected across campus to other places they can go, because schools, it's, as many of us know, field trips are few and far between, and now with COVID, they're pretty much going to be non-existent. So how do you capture that audience and keep them? Mine is just usually a one shot. I get to see one class for one time in the year, usually in the spring because it's the end of the year. So how do I extend that into a learning experience for my students? Or homeschool networks, I get a lot of those for private shows. But parents, if I have this posted on my website, they can go in and extend into continuing teaching and learning at home. Teacher guides available on your planetarium website. I'm working on it, Rosemary. I just got access this spring to my website. I haven't been able to do anything with it. But yeah, website updates and including those are on my plan. Right now, my website is included the ones that have been provided through whoever, either the company that produced the show, or sometimes I've got some friends that have done others. I steal a lot from you guys. I go around and looking, okay, what are they doing? What are they doing? How can I modify it? Change it to mine. But that's kind of what I've been doing so far. Did I miss anything in the chat? Any questions? Oh, I'm definitely, yeah, I can definitely share mine with Michelle for the WAC files, and you know, it's her show, so if she wants to include that in her resources that she sends out to with her shows, that is more than fine with me, and that was part of our agreement too. But yeah, any other questions? I guess I can stop sharing so I can see everybody's lovely face.